all my fellow Knights Viking Samurai and Outlanders. My name is Nebula, and today I tell you all, you great people, about a show that I watched years ago, like a very long time ago, and how it just disappeared from my interests as other things in my life came round, and I just never kept watching it. But now, I bring it back to my interests in a big way. Here's how I returned to a brilliant show and how it made a resurgence in my life and how I've just grown to re-love this once again. The show in question being in the title, as you can probably see. It is, of course, Octonauts. So, let's start with the basics. For those who don't know and are unaware, and I'll answer this question, what is Octonauts? Well, the premise is it's a crew of 8 different animals form a team of ocean researchers and rescuers called the Octonauts, the name. And the said crew is comprised of Barnacles, who is a polar bear and the captain slash leader of the team, Quasi, a cat who's the first mate and daredevil, Peso, a penguin who is the doctor medic, Shellington, a sea otter who is the marine biologist, Inkling, an octopus professor who is the researcher and oceanographer, someone who studies the ocean pretty much if you wanted the definition, as well as one of the founders, interestingly enough, Dashi, a dog who is the IT officer, photographer and pilot of the octopod, before you wonder, Tweak, a rabbit who is the mechanic engineer, and finally, Tunip and the Vegetable crew, basically vegetable animals who are the helpers, assistants for the majority of the tasks. They usually help with cleaning and cooking, and usually helping with repairs with Tweak. It varies. And to put it simply, their goals are to explore the oceans, rescue any ocean creatures, or just generally any creatures that may need it, no matter who, and protect those who can't protect themselves. Standard heroism traits, if you will, if that makes sense. So, of course, I found myself just enjoying this once again. And on the subject of enjoying it, let me tell you how I found myself wanting to watch Octonauts once again. So, story-wise, back in 2010 when it first released, Jesus Christ, I feel old, I remember watching an ad for it and decided to give it a watch, and found it quite enjoyable at the time. However, it fell off my radar shortly after the release and I'd never ended up wanting to watch more of it. And it just disappeared into the Mariana Trench, never to be seen again by me, to be perfectly honest with you. I just never found myself having a reason to go back to it. Until a few months ago when I saw a video by a new favourite YouTuber of mine called Athena P talking about the lore of Octonauts. And while I also learned a lot in said video, I decided, why don't I watch this again? And after I did, I realised after all these years that not only was Octonauts still going on, and it really is, new episodes are still being made for it, and stuff is still going out content-wise for it, and also the fact that I was just missing out on a lot and was finally excited to just watch it all because there was plenty to see. A similar story with what actually happened to me with Paw Patrol back when I first watched it. That story is in one of my really old videos. You'll probably see it on screen here, where just the fact that it was once lost and then I found it again. And in regards to Octonauts, I genuinely had no idea the series was still being made and ongoing for more than a decade now. And to just see how many more locations, characters, and GUPS vehicles they had been adding since I last watched, and the fact that there was a spin-off made for it as well called Above and Beyond, which focused on more so on the land and air rescues. How could I not be hooked? And simply put, I was just that, and I wanted to see it all. Another thing that got me properly more hooked into it than I already was the fact that the humour in the show is actually funny. Like, this is a preschool show, don't get me wrong, what Americans call it preschool, so sorry, it's like kids show, like young kids kind of thing. So I wasn't expecting the humour of it to actually be good, but it genuinely was. And let me just tell you, these are a couple of my favourites right now.
Oh, Captain, could you practice somewhere?
Sure.
It's okay. We've stopped.
I know, but you're standing on my foot.
Oh, sorry.
Or the ship. Dashy, sound the octopus. Huh?
You want me to sound the octopus?
Now, I will say this as well, there is a lot I want to talk about when it comes to Octonauts. I do have plenty of ideas of what I want to do with this. However, that would be too much for this video, so I'll save it for another video. But like the others I've mentioned previously that I've brought up in my Nebula Direct, I was about to call it the wrong thing there, I'll be sure to have plenty of videos on this in the future. And regarding that, with this video, only one more thing from my Nebula Direct is to be made, and it's of course Super Wings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and shorten the time between this video and my first new Super Wings one, which I should have time to do very soon. I can't guarantee it, but I can hope for the best. So crossed fingers, I'll have that timed a little bit better to have them closer together. Anyways, that's all for now. Please stand by for plenty of Octonauts videos in the future. I think I'm really excited to do this one a lot out of the list. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And this is Nebula out, as always. It's time for my resurgence into Octonauts.